Let's start. So today topic is introduction to cloud computing with Microsoft Azure. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Dumindu Silva, a software engineer in Creative Software, and I am a Microsoft certified Azure developer and a DevOps expert. And I have 2+ years of experience in cloud solution development at Creative Software. Um, and I am passionate about cloud and developer technologies. So you can reach me in these contact details. So today agenda. First of all, I will be talking about what is cloud computing, then the characteristic of cloud computing, the cloud models and cloud services, type of cloud services, then about Microsoft Azure, and after that Azure key concepts, cognitive services in Azure, and we will do some demo on cognitive services, and finally we'll talk about Azure ML Studio. So first of all, what is cloud computing? So someone might think that cloud computing is a bunch of computers in the sky we are trying to use with those, but actually cloud computing is actually it is another person computer. We are trying to access another person's computer from our local machine. So that is basically cloud computing. So cloud computing is delivery of computing services over the internet. So those services can be servers, storage, even computer, separate computer like virtual machines like this. Then cloud computing enable faster innovation, flexible resources, and economics of scale. I hope you got that. It is innovative and also flexible resource. So when you need, you can purchase a storage account, and when you need, you can purchase a whole computer with the operating system. So when you try to do that without cloud computing, you have to pay for the whole infrastructure. So that is what basically flexibility means. So economy of scale means since we are using data center servers, so you don't have to pay more money for them, like when it compares to purchasing resources individually. So that is basically economies of scale means. So let me move with characteristic of cloud computing. The first one is high availability. So high availability means we all know we should have the uptime around 100%, right? When we hosting our application in cloud. So using cloud computing, many of them guarantee around 99% of high availability and also scalability. So with your demand on demand, you can increase or decrease your resources for the given workload. Elasticity means automatically increase or decrease the resource as you need it. So that could be dynamically, or it is dynamically and automating part. For example, let's say you have a server and you are getting a request in peak hours like 9 to 5, around 1,000 requests and off peak time you are getting around like 100 of requests. So in with this elasticity uh, in cloud computing, it will automatically adjust more resources at uh, peak times. So so what I mean by that is you can add more RAM storage for that resource at peak time, and when we don't use that much of requirement, you can uh, remove those resources. So that is happening automatically. That is called this elasticity. Then the agility. Uh, as I mentioned previously, you can easily allocate and deallocate resources when you want and when you don't want. So that is what I mean by agility. So disaster recovery. Let's say disaster happened in your on-premise server area. So then your whole data will be lost, right? So in cloud computing, that won't be happen because they have replicated data all over the world. So we can choose whether you want replicated data deployed in a zonal region or globally or in your local region. So from that, you can avoid the disasters and the global reach. As you all know, you can once you have published your resources in the cloud services, you can access from anywhere in the globe, right? And next, the predictive cost. So predictive cost means you can predict the cost. Actually, the cloud provider will help you with that by calculating what time you have used during the day and what will be the cost at the end of the month. So that's how the cost will be predicted. So now let's talk about types of cloud models. So mainly there are three types: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. Um, public cloud first. So the public cloud means the service provider on the cloud, right? So that is accessible around all over the globe. There is no local hardware to manage. All the things will be handled by the cloud provider. And the common use case scenario is deploying a web application on a cloud provider, so that once you have deployed, you don't have to worry about the hardware. All the things will be taken care by the cloud provider. So best examples are MS Azure, AWS, and GCP. Next, there are private clouds. Private cloud means it owned and operated by the organization itself, right? So they have their data centers in their workplace, and they use those data centers to access those resources. So you mean you have hosted resources in that data center, and by using private IPs around the organization, you can access them easily. So this practice is mainly used when they have very sensitive data in their organization. So they cannot send it to the cloud. So that is very risky. That's why private cloud is used. So then we have hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud means combination of both private and public cloud. So for example, let's say you have sensitive data in your database, right? So, but you can host your web app in public cloud and link it to so, uh, database hosted in private cloud. So in that scenario, we can think that it is a hybrid cloud. So let's talk about types of cloud services. Mainly there are three types: infra as services, service, platform as service, and software as service. Apart from these three, now there are DB as service, container as service, like so. Infra as service means mainly the cloud provider is providing you infrastructure like virtual machines, storage. So those are infrastructure. So when in that case, that is called as infrastructure as service. So these are examples: virtual machines, storage, network, and always operating systems from cloud provider. Alright. So then we have platform as service. Platform as service means the cloud provider is providing you the platform you needed, right? So like infra as service, platform as service include infrastructure, servers, storage, networking, but also the middleware, right? And the developing tools. For example, when we provisioning a database from Azure or a cloud provider, we get the data server and the all the querying tools as well with it. So that is platform as service, right? So you get the all the tools necessary to query the database. So that is similar to a DBMS, like SQL Management Studio, like that. Right? So that is SaaS. Then we have SaaS. SaaS means software service. So that in this model, the whole infra platform and the software is delivered via the internet, right? So the whole things will be taken care by the cloud provider. It is centrally hosted and managed, and it has multi-tenant architecture. What do you mean by multi-tenant architecture? So think that there are two students from University of Morocco and University of Kelaniya, right? So when they log into these software, they log in with their by giving their university details, right? So the software will know when you give your university, they will understand that this is in the tenant, right? Now, for the University of Morocco, uom.com. So that is a separate tenant. So it will provide a solution for that tenant separately, and as well as for the UOK tenant separately. So that is multi-tenant architecture. So in SaaS, you can see that most usually. Hosting setup, all the maintenance is handled by the vendor that you get, right? So all you need is to log in and use a browser. So That's how we can use software as service. So this is a overview of all the models I have talked about. So in on-premise, when we are creating our own servers, let's say, you have to tackle with all these layers, right? From the bottom networking layer to until the application layer, you have to manage it by your own. But when it comes to infra as service, networking storage, these layers will be taken care by the software cloud provider. So only you have to do is create add your OS and work with these middlewares and the application. So in PaaS, runtime and the middleware also taken care by the cloud provider. So only you have to focus on applications and data you have to manage. And in SaaS, all those things are taken care by the cloud provider. So you can easily use the application. So I hope you get it. If there are any questions, can answer. If not, we can proceed. Okay, we can use the Q&A session for questions. Let's note it down. So then let's talk about Microsoft Azure. So Azure means, as I said, it's a public cloud provider. So these are the services provided by Microsoft Azure. So mainly these are platform services and infra services. So you have a lot of services more than in here. You can find more than lots of services, but I have here they have categorized the most common services. So here for managing security, you have Security Center, Azure Portal, Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory means let's say you have to use a resource from the cloud in your local machine, right? So you have to access a database in cloud in a local machine. So you have to go through with this Active Directory to authenticate whether you have authenticate and authorize whether you have access to these resources to do the transactions. So that's what do by this Azure Active Directory. And you have B2C tenancy support, multi-factor authentication support, and likewise Azure Keyboard to store your secrets and keys like connection strings in a safest place, so that will not go for your clients and other people. So in security area, those are things. And in media services, we have Azure Media Services to stream videos, like to manage streaming videos, like you cannot that will provide you authenticated way. That means only a particular people can watch these videos, and they cannot even download if we configure it. So that's about media services and CDNs. Likewise, and in the integration, API management, okay, logic apps, compute and services, these things, Kubernetes clusters, and application platform. So this is very famous. Web apps, when you have some, let's say you have a application, you can use this and deploy it to the cloud easily. And when it comes to data, you have SQL data warehouse, SQL databases, like it's MySQL, you name it, right? So for the AI intelligence, you have cognitive services. So today we are going to more focus on this area because I hope this will help you for your projects as well. And bot framework, you can create chatbots like this, and IoT and analytic machine learning likewise. So this is a overview of Azure services. All right. Now in the bottom, you have virtual machines, containers. So these are infrastructure, right? Storage accounts, load balancers. We can purchase them when we need it. Actually, not purchase. The right word. Right word is renting, because once we have finished working with them, we can release them back. So in the bottom, you have data center infrastructure. So all these are hosted in not only one data center, but around so many data centers in globe. So this is how Azure actually works, right? Okay, so the key concepts, as I said, there are data centers and regions, right? So mainly these data centers were distributed around the globe because to avoid disaster recovery and for achieve the latency, right? So let's say from Sri Lanka, you have to, if we deploy our resourcing somewhere in the corner of this America, it might take some time if the workload is so much, but you won't notice if the workload is very less. So at that case, you can use process data center and region for your work, like South India, Southeast Asia, likewise. So these are distributed around, you can see 140 countries, and regions, there are around 60 plus regions. All right. And then we have Azure portal. So this portal is where we manage all these services and configure them all. So this is the like entry point to Azure. And you have resources. Resources means, as I said, these are the resources, right? So when it comes, when it's talking about web app, SQL database, these are separate resources. And then we have resource groups. So resource groups are created to manage resources easily. For example, now let's say you are creating a virtual machine, right? So when you are creating a virtual machine, Azure will automatically create you a storage account, not load balancer, network adapter, public IP interface. So all those things will be installed inside the resource group. So that's why we need that. So when we don't want that anymore, you can easily remove this resource group, right? So you don't want to go with each resource to delete. And for automation, you can use PowerShell and Azure CLI. So you can automate the whole, like 99% work we are doing in portal using these two, right? Then we have Azure Subscriptions. So as you all know, this will come with a cost, right? So when you are using cloud services, you have to pay for their services, right? So this payment model is held through these subscriptions. So you have free accounts MSDN subscriptions, and these three are the Spark enterprise subscriptions are offered by Microsoft for companies. So, and then we have Azure for students. So, uh, since you all are student, as I know, you can get these two offers easily, right? Free accounts and Azure for students. So, okay. Before moving forward to community service, I'll show you how to get those subscriptions. So, yes. So if you search as Azure for students, here you can you will get $100 of credit to use in 12 months, right? So this is more than enough if you are planning to use Azure for this hackX project. So you have $100 and valid till 12 months, and also you will get these free resources. Like if you are using database, you can get up to 250 GB free allocation, and virtual machines with this 750 hours of runtime, and services up to 10 likewise. So there are so many free resources available for Azure for students. So you can get this by going through with this link, and you have to enter your university email, and sometimes you have to give your university ID screen like a copy of a photo of university ID. So Microsoft will verify whether you are a student, and then you will get this benefit. So this is about Azure for students. So if you haven't tried it yet, please try it by searching this. And also you can get Azure free account. So in Azure free account, you will get $200 of Azure credits, but it will only valid till 30 days, right? So here you will get 100. This is more than enough for your work, and it lasts long for 12 months, right? So this is on 30 days. So that's the difference, and the major difference is when you creating a free account, you have to enter a credit card, I think, but it won't cost you until you finish this 200 USD plus, right? So in Azure for, when you're creating Azure for student account, you don't have to insert any credit card detail. So that is a total free. So that is all about the subscriptions. So let's go to the portal. So as I mentioned, this is the entry point for Azure. Just search for Azure portal. Here, this portal.azure.com, that is the entry point for the Azure. And here you can, once you have created your subscriptions, you can see the subscription listed here, right? So inside of subscription, yeah, you can see the current cost, all the details, right? And your resources. If you go for the resource groups, you can see these resource groups inside inside your subscription, and inside those resource groups there are resources. So So let's try to create one for the demonstration. All right, and also wait, I have to show this also. So these are the resources. So if you want to create a resource, you can go here, create a resource. Then it will show the popular resources here. So and also by categorizing, you can find those resources you need to play with cloud computing, right? Likewise. So let's try to create a virtual machine for the demonstration. So you have to select the subscription, and you have to create a resource group. Let's use this, and your virtual machine name. I will use this. Availability zones, like you want to whether you want to separate your resources within Azure region or not. I don't want that. And here you can select what OS you need to install. Right, there are all the OS as I know. You can use. So I will use Windows 10 and the size. So you can find. You can insert all the resources, right? So you have data, disk, RAM, what type of RAM you need. So depending on your resource requirement, the cost will be big. So I will select this for now. It's right. Insert. So this password is the login password for Windows administrator account, right? So, and here you can allow what ports you need to allow for inbound. I will keep RDP for now, and so you can attach a SSD RAM, SSD hard or normal hard. Yeah, networking. These things we can keep as default. Finally, we can review and create. All right, you have to confirm accept the Windows 10 license. All right. So then once you have double check with your requirement, you can create. This might take some time, so I will show you another resource type. So in your project, sometimes you have to work with databases. So I will show you how to use the database in Azure. So this will start deployment. You will get a notification once the deployment is finished. So you can create a SQL database or MySQL database as similar as this. So once you have created a database, so this is the provision SQL database, right? So here you can use this connection history. So you can use this connection string to connect with your application in your local machine, and you can use this query editor to access the database, like we access in EBMS. Right here, you can see the tables used and its procedures. So likewise, you can enter queries here, and then you can get those data. So this is a sample database. Likewise, so this is super easy, and you can use it free because you are students. Okay. So this deployment is done. Now, so this is a virtual machine instance. So we need to connect to that. You can use RDP protocol to connect that. So download this RDP file. So those are the credentials we gave when we are creating the virtual machine. So here you can verify this certificate, and then you can connect to the virtual machine. So you can see that, right? So you have a new computer inside your computer. So you can use this. Let's say if you have like machine learning model training need to be done for your project, so you can use this machine. So with you have separate resources allocated for this, so that could be more faster than your local machine, so you can use that. So I don't need this anymore. I'll close this. And keep in mind that once you have finished your work, you can stop this by here, so that the costing will be stopped. Otherwise, if you don't use and if you don't stop these machines, the costing will still calculated, and at the end you will get the bill. So I can now delete this resource group. So as I said earlier, once you read the resource group, everything will be deleted. So okay, so that's the basic tour of Azure consuming Azure services. Let's move on with the next part. So next we are going to talk about Azure Cognitive Services. So mainly cognitive services comes under this Microsoft AI platform provided in cloud. Right. So those there are three services mainly: custom AI, pre-built AI, and conversational AI. Under custom AI, you have Azure Machine Learning, and in pre-built AI, you can have cognitive services. Pre-built AI means Microsoft has trained already trained models, so you can use them to get your work done. So those are pre-built AI. Difference between pre-built AI and custom AI. And you have bot framework, so you can use to create chatbots using this. So talking about infrastructure, so all these three are created under this infrastructure. So you don't have to tackle with those. Only we need to work with this. Right. So for tools, we can use Visual Studio, ML Studio, likewise. So talking about cognitive services, there are main 5 areas we can talk about: vision, speech, language, vision, and search. Under vision, you have computer vision, which means you can analyze images and get data, what are in those images, and likewise ink recognizer, you can analyze handwritings and convert them into text. And custom vision means you can create your own model inside this, and you can use that model for your predictions. And face API, you have face API. Face API means using this API, you can find out persons, like whether the person is smiling, likewise whether the person wearing a mask, like that. And the video index, when you provide a video, you can get what are the like components in that video. Likewise, form recognizer. So these two are in preview mode. I'm not sure you can use this in productions state. And when it comes to speech recognize, speech recognition and speech services, like wait, I think I have more slides on that I will talk about. So I talk about these 6. Yeah. And speech APIs, as I mentioned, there are 2 areas: speech service and speaker recognition. Right? That means in speech service, you can convert audio to text. Like when you're talking, you can convert that into text and you can output that text. And if you provide a text to that, you can also convert it to a speech as well. And here is speaker recognition. That means if you input a sample speech of some person, it will identify those features, and at the next time when we upload sample audio, it will identify whether it is the same person or a different person. So then we have language APIs. You have text analytics to detect key phrases, like what kind of language they have been used twice. And you have Q&A maker service. So here, when you provide let's say a document of Q&A, right? If this question asks, this answer should be given, right? So like in that scenario, we can use this service. So this will use that document and create a virtual bot. So with that bot, you and users can easily interact with that. So that's a very good one. And immense reader, this is also in preview version. And translator text API, that means you can translate for different languages. And language understanding service. So this means language understanding. You know that when we talking, there are different types of words, right? Like you're going to means like gonna, like you're gonna, like we say that. So in this service, it will identify whether those words are same or not. Likewise, it can identify a native speaker or non-native speaker. So there are also decision APIs. So content moderators, for example, it can review your text image and check whether it is appropriate, or like it can moderate your content. So, and this one also in preview stage. And here we have anomaly detector. So if you insert a data set, you can find out whether there is a anomaly, like deviated data in that, so it will notify you. So this is the key areas in cognitive services. So let's deep dive with that. All right. So if you search for Azure Cognitive Service, so you will get for this Microsoft document. So here we have all four areas we talk about. So if you select vision first, you have computation. So let's try that. So here, as I mentioned earlier, so if you insert an image, it will automatically find out whether what are the entities inside this image. So you can see that text. There is a train and the confidence with 0.9%. That means it has identified this train, whether it is blur or not. And there is a platform, subway, likewise, right? Yes, all these details can be retrieved using this API, right? So in here, you can see that now we have sent a handwritten image. So this is output. Hello. Yeah, question. Someone I think is unmuted. That's fine. So in here you will get so what is in this image, right? So here you can see this image is converted into text with these parameters, like in what position you have this text, likewise. So you can try this with Azure by yourself. Create instance. Let's go. So we are trying the computation. So, and create. And you have to select the subscription resource group. You create a new resource group. And the region. I'm always prefer to use H2S because as mentioned in this region the availability is high and also the cost is low. Uh, because of that, I'm using this for the demo purpose. Otherwise, you have to use when you're going for production and for heavy workload, you have to use closer regions like Southeast Asia. And you have to do this. Let's see that. Okay. And the pricing tile, I will check this. I would have set the terms and conditions. Okay, the deployment is in progress. I have talked about this. Yes, your deployment is completed. So to get this started, so you have this computer vision instance. So to get this started, you can go for this documentation API console. So here they will provide all those APIs you need to consume this API. All right, so let's try this. So since I have used HTTPS, I will select that. So here, when you go to the overview, you see that this endpoint is like this, right? So here they are asking for the endpoint with the resource name. So the resource name is this hackX dash computation. So I can copy this. Stick here. And okay, so I need the description of thing. So we have to upload image. Yes, you have to upload a URL here. So for that, let's say let's go to this resource group and create a storage account. And I select these default options. And for the redundancy, as I said before, you can select whether it is a local redundant, global redundant, or geo redundant. So with this, they will keep a replicated data around the globe, right? So since I don't need this to be geo redundant, I will keep this. So in a separate data center, now we have used like EastUS. So as well as in EastUS, they will keep in Australian data center like that. If you select GeoZone, so I will give that. So then create the storage account. I hope you understand this. This is a basic documentation for a post request REST API. I hope you know about REST APIs. Like we are creating those headers and the query parameters here, and these headers. Let's see. So this is the storage account we created. So you can go to containers and create a new container. So here container means like a folder in like Google Drive. Right? So I say images, and I will give the public access for this. I insert in I'll insert the image for this container. So I have inserted this image. So you can see that it's an image of a train, and it is a bit blur, not 100% clear. Let's try. So you have uploaded this image. So then that you can get a download link here. So then keep that copy, and you need to find these are the query parameters. So we need a description. If it is a brand, we need to find out. You have to check that if you need to check whether there is adult content, you have to check that likewise. So you need description, landmarks, and English, and the model is which model you are going to use. So here they have only latest model. And the content type, this is for this. We are using application JSON content type, and so we'll build this. So URL for the images here, and here they ask for the subscription key. Subscription key means the computer vision subscription key is we provisioned instance. So you can get this key from here. The keys and endpoint tab. So you can get here, you have the keys and what location, endpoint, all the details. You have two keys, you can click on. Okay. So our request has complete now. Let's try. Okay, so we get 200 response code. That means the request is success. So you can see that, right? This is the endpoint we provided, and visual features equal description. These are the query parameters we configured here. So that will go as like this. So in the body, we are sending the URL. So you get 200 response. And now see, you get this JSON result, and it says categories as outdoor, but it has a score of 0.01%. Right? So it is a bit lower prediction, but in description, see, it has identified sky, outdoor, train, traveling, railroad, like this. And even though the confidence is 0.5%, but they have identified it clearly, and even it has this text like a train travels down the tracks, right? So this is pretty much accurate, right? So this is what we can do using this computer vision API. So if you use this in your code, so you have to install a Git package called Microsoft Computer Vision through this Git package manager for .NET development. So if you are using Node.js or other things you have to use for Node.js, you can use npm to install the relevant package. I think those things are right here. Here you have see Python quick start Java, and I saw there is Node.js as well. JavaScript, yes, you can use this. So likewise you can do. So I have taken this C# code. So it's a basic console application. And here you have to enter your subscription key before PWA. That is this one and the endpoint. And so we are using this analyze URL using image. So you have to paste this URL we copied. This one. So when we write on this program, so using that NuGet package, all the authenticate part will be done, and request will be sent according to that. So you can see that, right? We get the same result as we try it with the API portal. Right. See? So that's about it. Computation. Now we have mission. So now you have custom mission. So let's see what is that means. So custom mission means, so let's say for example, in Sri Lanka context, if we you know, right, we have private buses and CTB buses. So in Sri Lankan context, we can identify that easily. But if it is a foreigner, they cannot identify that, right? So it is only for Sri Lankan context. So even though so at that case, these APIs will not identify those whether it is a CDP bus or private bus. So for that, we can use custom mission feature. So to get started with custom mission, there is a separate portal called custom vision portal. Let's try that. I'll sign in. Okay. So I have this previously created project. Let's try to create one project. So let's create a new resource. So here you have to create a custom vision resource as we created this computer vision resource. So this can be done from here, and also you can do it from the Azure portal as well. So let's try that. So we are expecting a prediction from this asset. So we can select prediction and keep in mind that you have to give these uh, regions as same as you created before. If you are using Southeast Asia, you have to use it for the all the resources and pricing data. So talking about the pricing here, you can select whether you what pricing tier matches for you. So you can see this is a free pricing tier, but it will cost about 20 calls per minute. Okay, so you have limitation of 20 API calls per minute and 5K calls per month. So this is free pricing tier. And in the standard, you will cost $1 per month, and you have these features, right? 10 calls per second. That means you can call. So this is here we have the resource we created. So this is custom vision resource. So now if you go to your resource group, this is configuration. You can see that, right? Custom vision instance has been created. So that is happen from this end. And now here we are going to try this. So here we are going to try this this project. This project I worked with in my uni days for the research. So I have some sample data. So these are some images of dengue mosquito larvas and non-dengue mosquito larvas, right? So I have separated them into folders. So there were hundreds of images, but I have taken only 10. And we have separated testing and training data in test folder inside. So we are trying to predict whether this model can identify that. So this is a classification model, right? So you can you have to select this. Object detection means to check whether there is a object. For example, check whether there is a person in this image, like us. So this is classification. So we select this. And for the classification type, is it a multi-label or multi-class? So multi-label means there can be more multiple entities inside that image. So that is multi-label. Multi-class means that can only have a single tag, whether this is dengue or not, and those are called multi-class. So in our case, this is multi-class. So example for multi-label is to check whether a person wearing a mask, right? So the mask is a one entity and the person is another entity. So that is multi-label. So here you can select the domain. So in this scenario, it is general. If not, you can select food landmark, whether it is retail likewise. So if you are planning to deploy this model to mobile application like us, you can use these compact models, or else we can use these normal models. And this A2 means it is about the like versions. So we will select this level and create. Not sure. How is that? All right, no problem. We will try with this instant we have created earlier, and use this. All right. So now the instance has been created. Now you have to add these add images to train this model. So this EDs means the dengue mosquito larva and non-EVs means other mosquito. So I will select these images. And here you have to tag whether what is the classification you need to do. So this is dengue. So so you notice that there are very less. There are actually there is no any coding need to be done. All these things can be done using this portal. So anyone can try this. Okay, these now you can see that these are tagged, right? In mosquito larva. Now we can add the other type, which is non-dengue. All right, so now we have tagged all two types of images. And now you can start training this model. So click on training. So you have two types: quick training and advanced training. So in advanced training, you can train this for around 24 hours, but the cost will be high depending on your time. So we'll use quick training. So actually here we have a neural network called RNN. If you know any, if you know, so it will do this training and create a model in the backend, but you cannot see that here. So all the things will be taken care by this custom vision portal. So training started. This might take around 2 to 3 minutes. We will continue with others. Cognitive services vision API, right? So here we talk about these two. Then we have face API. So face API is mainly about face verification and face detection. So here you can see if you have uploaded an image of some person, it will once you upload another person, it will find out whether in which confidence these two images are related or similar. So here you can see that 0.8% confidence. So other images as well, you can see that the confidence will be different. So in face detections, mainly there are three types. Detect the location of the face in an image. So here this will detect the location of the face and how many faces there are in this image likewise. And here it will detect landmarks for each face, including eye position. Like if you have a requirement of identifying those kind of things, uh, yeah, you see, those data can be retrieved using those APIs and analyze face for attributes, including mask detection. So here you can find out whether it has whether this person wear a mask or not, and also face attributes, whether the person is sad, whether he's laughing, likewise. So we can try that also. So it will take you to this API documentation as previously. So here we are in phase API documentation. For to use this, you need to create a base API instance. So let's create a new one. HTTPS and then okay, onto this debug. Okay, so this the training has completed in the custom vision. Uh, I will finish this, so otherwise you will get confused. Here, so you have the face API instance created. So, as previously, you have to take the keys. So we used H2S. So select this one. So resource name. This ID true. So it will create from this one and landmass. What is landmass? Okay, we will create it, keep it false. face attributes. So here you can see that there are optional parameters include face ID, landmarks, and attributes. Right? So attributes include age, gender, smile, facial hair, likewise. So you can get those information through this attribute. So so let's try smile. I'll copy that here. Return recognition model. Just keep that false for now. And this is application JSON type for the body. You have to insert a URL for this. And here you have to add the subscription key, which is this one. Okay, so here I will change this URL. So you have to add this. Containers. Inside image, I will add another image. So I will add this beautiful photo of mine. Let's see whether it can recognize. Copy this URL to here. Let's try it. So it returns 400 argument as the argument, and the message is only face attribute. Head pose masks are supported in detection tree model. So detection tree model. So let's try this one. Okay, so we have this JSON, right? So you see you have the face ID recognized and the face rectangle where the face is located, and also the smile. So you can see it has a 0.9% of smiling. So it seems to be pretty good smile. All right. So this is how the face API works. Let's try this one as well. So you can try this. Check whether there are masks available or not. Okay, then the detection, this model should be changed to tree. So the latest model only has this mask availability or not feature. Okay, so you can see that, right? In face attributes mask, there is no mask, right? It is false. So this can use for your project. I saw some of your projects using these type of face recognition models. So easily you can do this using this APIs. So that's why I talk about these three APIs mainly. Okay, so that is the end of face API demo. So let's go back to this custom vision. So now we trained these images, right? As I hope you remember these dengue mosquito images and non-dengue mosquito images we trained using the quick training. And so you can see that we have some result here. So precision means how likely is that the model to be right? So 80% of percentage of predictions might be correct. So recall means to what percentage did your model correctly find. So since this user convolutional, not conventional, residual neural network, which is called RNN. So there is a feature called recall inside. So to what extent the predictions were correct. So it will work the work on the training, and for the testing purpose, it will automatically try them. So this is the result for that. So here this is like performance measuring thing using these two. How much performance will be output. So now you can try the predictions, not predictions. You can try quick test. Now you'll upload the sample image. So this one. So not this one. Remember, when you uploading sample image, try to upload a new image so that we can check whether the model is correct. So I uploaded a dengue mosquito larva. So here you can see that it has identified 100% this would be a dengue larva, right? So this seems to be working. Now let's try to publish this. So you can use this in your application. Yes. Once this is published, now you can see that you can use this prediction API for a with the image URL like we used in previously, or else you can use using an image file. So let's try that one as well. So let's copy this. This is the endpoint for this model, and here I am using post model. Okay, create a new collection. Custom. So I hope you know about Postman. So this Postman is a sample API testing tool we can use. So we let me here you can paste this, and you can use the post method for this because you are sending an image through this, right? So you have to use post method, and you have to add these two headers to this API. So there are inbuilt headers added already. So I will add prediction key with this value and content type. So here content type is OC text string, right? So this is because we are going to upload the image to the body. So that's why we use this type. Otherwise, we can use application JSON. We are using a URL. So here we select form data, and here file. So previously we tried with dengue mosquito. Let's try with this one. So those are the keys we have tried. Let's try to send this. All right. So here we have the probability, right? So for it predicts that this is an undengue mosquito larva with the prediction of 0.9, and this could be a dengue mosquito larva with 0.0. So this is pretty much accurate. So likewise, you can use this for your application to make your job done. So that's about custom vision. So those three are the main things I have. I thought I should explain to you guys, because so then you have text to speech, uh, speech to text, speech translator, so speech recognizer. So here, like this. Replace this text with any text you. Yeah, right. You can use this in your application as well. You have to log into a portal, I guess. Speech studios. So if you are interested, you can try this as well. In speech studio, so you can check whether your pronunciation is correct, and likewise, so there are so many APIs you can try. So you can try it if you wish. I am not going to try it that now right now. Speech recognition. This is what I mentioned earlier, that check whether the same person is talking about. So this is also an API. You can try it if you're interested. So my main target was to complete these three areas, because I saw some of your projects using can use these APIs to make it better. So these are also about language and decisions. Detector. So as I mentioned, so you can find out whether there are like anomalies in your data set using this. This will identify that. So that's it about cognitive sciences. Finally, I have to mention this as well. So I hope you don't know about this. Also, this is Azure Machine Learning Studio, right? So I will explain this. This is the URL for that. Or you can search Azure Machine Learning Studio. So I didn't say you guys have machine learning projects, like machine learning trainings in your project, but I hope this will help you in your university studies as well. So let's delete this. All right. So I'm not going to explain this in much details, but you can try this out. So to get start, you can try with a blank experiment. Experiment means it is like, let's say you have a model to train, a regression model like this. So you can, that will be the experiment here. So you can click one of that. So there are so many k-means clustering. Likewise, there are so many models here. You can select one of those to start building like templates. So I will select one. So here you can see that now you have a workflow, right? So here you are getting the data with this data set, uh, and you are cleaning the data set, selecting these columns, splitting data. So think that now if you are going to do this in the normal way, you have to use a notebook like Jupyter notebook, and you have to code this in Python or R likewise. So here, but here you don't have to do any coding here. If you have the ML knowledge, you can easily try this. So remember that this Azure ML Studio is uh, a free platform. You don't have to use Visual Studio subscription. You can freely train those images and sorry, not images, these data, and create your models and check your accuracy. So it's pretty much is. I think you are not familiar with it. That's why I thought of showing this as a. So it's very easy if you want to insert data. Uh, import data. So you have to drag and drop these things, and you can here you have how you want to import data, right? So is it a SQL database or cloud storage or likewise? So these things can be configured here. So all the parameters are here. You can use these to do this. So think that if you want to do this in a Jupyter notebook, it will take much time, right? You have to find the correct code and do the everything. But here you have the correct visibility of your workflow, so easily you can create this. So once you have finalized, you can run this project and check whether your model is has trained successfully. So that's all about that. Okay, so that's about this presentation. I hope you got something new to your knowledge and to your project, to support your project as well. So thank you. Are there any questions I can answer? So if you have any doubts about this, you can contact me with this. I have added this here. I'm more than happy to help with your projects.